everyone, welcome back to Warrior Weekly. I'm Kaydance Majors.
And I'm Cooper Adams.
And we're here with Mr. Brownfield today.
Excited to be here.
Yeah. So,
will you talk a little bit about your role at Whiteland?
Yeah, I'm the assistant principal. I do a little bit of everything. Help with discipline, scheduling, pretty big focus as far as like the guidance department and everything else, and trying to make sure that things get off to a smooth start for the school year. Yeah, I'm a jack of all trades, and that's what I do.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So today we're just going to learn a little bit deeper about what you do and some stuff getting back into the school year. Yeah. So we'll start with the beginning of the school year. So what are your personal goals for the beginning of the school year?
You mean to like as far as a smooth start and things like that?
Yeah.
Okay. So number one is that everybody has a class to go to. And like with this year being the new Skyward excitement and everything else that we're trying to launch the new system, it was a little bit of chaos, but we got it rolling and people had places to go. We had a system for holes in classes and got things situated. But as far as the school as a whole, kind of I think our admin goal is to really try to help make sure with all the changes, like with new diplomas and things like that, that the kids know the routes that they're taking and that they know the different options that they have as they go through high school. So.
Okay.
That was kind of a problem last year with seniors. Yeah. Some of them didn't have credits and didn't figure out till within the last few months, which obviously isn't like, one person's fault.
No.
But I bet that's really stressful and you don't want to have to deal with those things.
Oh, it's crazy. Like we made game plans and we made huge gains, and we got kids to get across the finish line, because I mean that's the ultimate goal. So we've got to make sure that we're getting everybody able to graduate.
Is that a lot of working over the summer as well, and
I took
not much of a summer break?
Took about a week and a half off.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so a little bit of time
something.
Off. But the grade level deans are like they're huge. So like Mr. Anderson with you guys, like he's been trying to work with transcripts, work with Mr. Ellis, trying to make sure that he knows exactly where kids are, and so that he can start early to try to intervene and stuff like that. The positive side is, like with the situation that we had last year, we've kind of shored up some of those issues to where that's not going to happen again.
So getting into the school year, what are some things that you do to prepare? Like a routine that you have, maybe just getting back into the groove of things?
Yeah. So I work a lot with the grade level teams. So the deans, the counselors, and then obviously with Mr. Lyons and Mr. Holman. Mr. Lyons and I have really worked together throughout the summer to try to make sure that the master schedule is done, it's ready to go. For early dismissal, which today's our first day for early dismissal, we try to get all our PLC notes, things like that aligned for the teachers so they can have those successful meetings. Trying to make sure that we have some semblance of normalcy with the lunch rotation, things like that. Mr. Holman does a great job with trying to make sure all that stuff is ready to go. As far as a routine, it really is just kind of all hands on deck. So I mean, I've got the different areas that I work with, like with the PLCs and things like that, but truly it's a united front, big effort, getting ready for that orientation, open house, making sure we have everything in place for that, and making sure everybody gets in to get their schedules, and it's a busy time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So you touched a little bit on construction with the new cafeteria. So
It's something.
we've had a little bit to adjust. So how have you seen it work out? How have you seen it play out? And are there any changes that you're thinking about making at this point in the school year?
It's actually gone pretty well, I think. Like it's weird. So like see you guys being like an area that's carpeted, it's almost like you guys are being more careful because there's carpet on the floor. But it's gone really pretty smooth. And I know it's kind of a huge shift, and whenever they were tearing out the windows and doing all that stuff and putting up the walls, it was crazy in the summer. On top of having summer school and everything else kind of happening in the building. But it has been pretty smooth. The custodial staff have been great, and they've said that things have been going really well. Just hope that it can improve or continue to be successful.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Definitely.
So do you have any safety concerns, I guess, that you wanted to talk about with the new construction or anything like that?
Obviously, I think it just kind of goes with the territory, like all these different walls and different areas that are being blocked off and everything. Just making sure that kids, I mean, with all the driving routes that we have, just kids are staying away from those areas. Really just trying to monitor and make sure that all that stuff is enforced. But as far as school safety as a whole, Mr. Anderson's kind of our safety specialist, and he works a lot with our police department and things like that. We've actually had this full-fledged safety week that we're doing all these different drills and everything. It's been a big push. So like that's the top priority, is making sure everybody's safe when they're here.
Gotcha. So I think now we're going to move on to kind of student life and engagement. Mm-hmm. So what do you feel that the most important things are to students now, and how are you trying to address that?
Yeah. So I've basically had a group where we have kind of like a focus group. I try to get kids of all kinds, like students who have struggled, students who have done really well with grades, some people who have had issues with discipline, like just have a full-fledged like representation of like Whiteland Community High School. We try to meet once a month. Usually we'll bring lunch and feed them lunch and everything else, but it's kind of like a way to kind of keep tabs on like the school, to try to see what really the struggles are and what the issues are that we need to tackle. But one thing that keeps coming up year after year and session after session is just helping kids feel connected, mm-hmm. have the sense of belonging, to mm-hmm. basically find their club or their sport or just their group of people, to make sure that they are, able to be successful. And the academics are huge, the academics are important, but having the sense of community and having everybody come together is huge. As far as personal goal and things like that, I think we're going down the path of like career readiness and like making sure that we're getting people ready for college. So like we're having some of the deeper conversations on how we make things, I mean, number one, more intentional, but then number two, like connected to careers mm-hmm. and actual like life and things like that. So we're trying to revamp some of our Warrior Way lessons to really try to bridge those gaps.
Yeah.
I would say there's a lot of times like that through different organizations you see kind of people struggling with engagement, just mm-hmm. trying to get them involved and figuring out what they're passionate about and trying to make sure that they feel included and that they have a place here. So I think that's a really awesome thing to do, and get their thoughts and ideas. Mm-hmm. So how would you feel like at the focus group, how do you feel like you prioritize? What is your process in prioritizing those concerns and making sure that everyone feels that theirs are addressed? Mm-hmm. And I know that there's probably a lot of things brought up. So how do you prioritize those concerns?
Yeah. So honestly, the very first meeting, and we'll probably start in September, just get everybody in the school and get into a groove. The very first meeting is we literally just kind of have open forum, talk about things that have gone well last year, things that need to improve, and really try to hear like what their concerns are. And then from there is I will actually take those main topics and we'll plan out different sessions throughout the school year so we can brainstorm, we can talk about things. So like one of the big topics that brought up was Warrior Way, mm-hmm. And how to make it a little bit better and more meaningful and more connected to what the kids need. So as far as kind of like the tackling and the progress, taking the information the kids are sharing, Mr. Lyons comes to the meetings as well, and trying to talk with the grade level deans and just making sure that that's getting out to them so we can take those action steps. So I mean, talking about being more interconnected, like for the seniors, so like you guys are out there painting parking spots and having new incentives for coming to games and those types of things. Like all of that stuff is starting to stem from really that feedback that we're getting from kids. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
And so what advice do you have for someone that is a little hesitant about getting involved or hesitant to try new things because they're worried that maybe they won't find their group or they mm-hmm. won't have a good time and experience that?
Yeah. I would say I get the anxiety, I get the anxiousness, but we have a big school. Like we have something and somebody for everybody. Mm-hmm. Like we have so many opportunities and so many connections that based off of any interest. Like even if you wanted to start a club, it is simple to start a mm-hmm. club. So like going in high school, like I loved comic books. Like if I wanted to start a comic book club, I could go to a teacher and talk to them, and if I get a group of kids that are interested, like they'll work with me. So like don't be afraid to talk to the teachers, especially the ones you're connected with, and make sure that you take those steps, because honestly, if you're interested, there's going to be others that are interested. So,
what would you say is one rule or policy that students often misunderstand, and what would you say to kind of clarify that?
So I don't know if necessarily like a misunderstanding, or just more of like kids being annoyed with it. I'd say there's probably two. One, I would say the tardies and the tardy policy changes. People get annoyed by it and things like that, but like that's a life skill. Like you cannot just show up late every single day to your job and every single time that you're getting together. Like you can't do that. You will get fired. You will lose your job. Especially when it's repetitive. It's like some of those soft skills of like actually like teaching people like things that are going to translate into life in the next leg of life, so to speak, is huge. The other one I would say is the phone thing. So people hate not having their phones, but like in all actuality, like it's an addictive thing. I mean, I'm sitting here and my phone is in my lap. Like that's what we're doing. But it was really cool. So like when we first started to roll out the policy, like to actually be in a cafeteria where it's louder from this year to the past year, and like actually see people like playing games and hanging out and like communicating and talking, like that's crazy awesome. And that's huge. Like people don't know how to talk to each other and don't know how to solve problems and fix things. Like it's not a solution just to unfollow somebody. Like that's not a solution. You're not fixing anything. So like I think some of those life skills and some of those really kind of relationship building strategies are huge. And I know that like a lot of it has to be from your experiences, but I think by us removing some of those barriers, it's helping to kind of push in that direction. So
I will say I've seen more people play cards than I ever have in my life.
Oh my God! Last year?
Yes, the euchre and the
Kimps.
In Kimps. I've never seen that much cards in my life.
Dominoes.
But it's because like you're bored, so you're forced to find something. And I will say, like I think that is a good thing. When you're bored, it does help you find more things to do. So
and
I do agree with that. Yeah,
it's okay to be bored.
Definitely.
It doesn't mean you're anxious. You're just bored. It's fine. It's a natural thing.
It definitely builds creativity.
Yeah. And I think that would also definitely help. I think it's helped with the school culture, like just like getting people that maybe you wouldn't talk with normally talking in a class. And I think it allows people to be more present, you know, just kind of in their class and in every day, you know. I was kind of a victim of, I like to put in my AirPods during passing period and walk and listen to music as I'm walking, kind of get ready for the next class.
Which means you're not aware of anything going on around you, really.
And I mean, you know, you take out your AirPods like last year and this year, you just hear different things. You see people that you would have never seen before, and you know, maybe you say hi to someone more in the hallway. You're just more present, I think, in every day, and that's something in society now I think we often struggle with. So it's I am not a huge fan of it.
Right,
you know,
it's something I don't think anybody will be a fan of, but there's a lot of pros coming out of it. I don't think anybody can deny that.
At face value, it can be annoying, but
because it's that boredom thing again, and which is like if you're bored,
you don't know how to be bored.
Yeah, that's something that I think.
And I think also
it's not like just like you guys, like adults don't either. Like it's
addictive for everybody.
Yeah. And it keeps you more accountable without, you know, you don't procrastinate as much during school. Because I would often, like, you would get an assignment, I'm just like, oh, I'm not feeling it.
Yeah,
so I would just, you know, be like, I'm just ready to,
I'll do it another time.
I'll do it when I get home. And then I get home and I have 4 of those assignments that I've just piled up.
And there's even more distractions at home with social media and everything. So.
Yeah. And like another layer too is like, I know there's drama. I know there's stuff like that goes on, but like that also kind of removes a little bit. Like you're not having people that are blasting each other on social media and it being something that's carrying over.
If something happens at school, they have time to cool down because they can't go post and text about it and all that stuff.
I love it. But
I do agree. I think a lot of stuff has calmed down a little bit with it.
Yeah.
So moving on from that, we're trying to get into this idea of a positive school culture, and we touched on it a little bit, but what would you define as a positive school culture? What would you when you envision a positive school culture? What do you see?
Yeah. There's so many levels to that, but the biggest thing, like as like kind of like I'm a school leader, as I would love to be able to see strong relationships between kids and the teachers. Kids feeling comfortable and confident to be able to go to a teacher with a problem and be confident that they're going to help. To be able to approach an administrator and be confident that they're going to be able to give some help or some guidance. And it may not be the easy answer, but it probably is the right answer. And like trying to push and coach people through that. If a kid's struggling in class, like to see the teacher and to see the student work together, like to initiate an email conversation between student to teacher and try to come up with a game plan of how you can raise your grade. To come up with a game plan on how to meet each other where you're at and then take the next step to move forward. Another layer of that would be honestly to have just a safe learning environment, which I think we've taken a lot of steps over the last 3 or 4 years, just to making sure that it's a smooth place and people feel comfortable coming to school. Gosh, there's so many layers. I'd say to have a community where kids are eager to support each other, and a lot of times like that's something that's really hard to pinpoint and say like, well, there's the numbers, it's getting better and everything else, but it's a feel. It is a feel thing. So I don't know if I'm answering your question, but
no, that's good.
Yeah. I will say from personal experience, I've had a lot of positive experience with the teachers, and there's a lot of times that you may feel like you're alone or that you don't have that supportive relationship with your teacher, but then there's other times where I'm just like shocked and I'm just like, I reach out and I mention something and you have a teacher that goes out of their way to help you, to support you, and to better you. And that's one thing that I think a lot of people that haven't gone to other schools and seen how they run, we're very blessed and we're very lucky to have the great teachers that we do. So it may be tough, especially I would say for younger people, to find their teacher, that they can go to with anything. But definitely I would say work on it. Like that is one thing over the 4 years, you should have a few that you can go to. And I would say a lot of teachers give a lot of grace. I would say the biggest thing is communication with that. Reaching out to let them know if you're going to miss a day and be like, hey, I just want to let you know, like I'm missing because of this reason. I'm happy to make up the work, And a lot of times teachers they get annoyed when you don't reach out, and then you get to class the next day that you're there and you're like, I wasn't there, what did I miss? Well, a lot of times it's posted on Google Classroom, and I think that's a big pet peeve that a lot of teachers have had.
What did I miss?
Yeah, but you're saying this too though, but it's echoing back to us in like some of those soft skills, like
yeah.
That's something you're gonna need for a career.
Right, you can't go to your boss like,
Just the first week of school, I was running late. I texted and I walked in pretty close to when buses were dismissed, and I was walking through and greeting everybody. But it's one of those things that you've got to work through and you got to grow with. So,
and I think it's awesome to kind of going with that grace. A lot of teachers understand that we're young, we're gonna make mistakes. We're not perfect. They're not perfect. So, just reaching out and just being honest, and being just be a real person, be genuine, be authentic, and you'll be surprised. It's really awesome. We have some great teachers here, and we're really lucky.
Yeah, I agree. I went here, so I had teachers that I worked with I was a student, and so working with those teachers, come in and I'm working alongside them as a teacher, co-teacher, whatever you want to say, but colleagues, say the professional term, and then eventually up to this position. So it's great.
Yeah.
So moving into your new position, what would you say a typical day in the life looks like for you?
Yes, that's the answer. It's no day is the same. So typically, I'm trying to be out in the halls as much as I can. That's the happy place. Like I like being out in the halls, greeting kids and seeing them as they're coming in and stuff like that, and trying to help them problem solve and work through things. I'll get kids that'll just stroll in and just, hey, can I run this by you? And we'll sit and we'll talk and work through things. I'll have kids that'll email me just questions and concerns, and I'll set up appointments with them. And that's the part that I really love, is really kind of having that one-on-one sit down with kids or with a group of kids and trying to figure out like where we can grow as a school. I love working with the teachers. So a day to day, it's a crazy ton of meetings. I can pull up my phone and show you just the gamut of meetings that we have. But it's checking in with our instructional coaches. It's meeting with teachers. It's meeting with students, and sometimes it is hunkering down and blasting through a ton of email. Like it's a part of it. But also trying to be in touch with like how we're performing as a school, like with our grades and our academics and things like that, and talking through interventions, like how we can jump in and like help kids grow to that next level and stuff too. So that's a hodgepodge answer, but that really is what my job is.
So do you have any like behind the scenes of something you would never expect that you do, that's something that you do?
I kind of operate with the mentality, like I try to never say the words, oh, well, that's not my job. I kind of just jump in. I mean, there's been times where there's some little angels have been have graffitied the bathroom, and I was in there spraying and cleaning it up, and like it's what it was. So like it's some of those things, but it's like this is home. Like we're gonna dive in, we're gonna jump in, and we're gonna clean up the messes, and we're gonna take the next step forward. And I mean, we got to do it for you guys. So yeah.
So what would you say is the hardest decision you've ever had to make?
That's tough. That like specifically in this job, or just like in education, or
Whatever you think.
I would say in general, like relating to.
Yeah. So I tried to be, so like I went and got my master's and wanted to eventually go into admin and things like that. And so it was kind of like that desire and that drive and wanting to go and improve and work with the kids on a different level. It's like the decision to like leave the classroom and then jump into the admin world. Like you're not FaceTime with kids as much. And that is probably one of the worst parts of the job that I struggle with. So there was that. It was like, when is the right time to make the switch and jump? And honestly, my entire career was high school students. And I got my first level of experience with elementary. So they like to hug. So it's like walking in, they're like, oh, just running up to you and giving you hugs. I'm just like, is this all right? Is this okay?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. It's just trying to. The tough decisions are putting yourself in the position where you can have the biggest impact and just leave a mark for kids. So I think that's what kind of always the lens that I try to think through. Every layer of my career has been trying to figure out how I can have a positive impact. So.
Yeah. Do you have any advice for any high school students? Something that you wish that you would change if you came back, if you could do it all over again?
I had a great experience in high school. So like I was in theater and rhythm masters and all those different types of things. So student council, like all that stuff. Take more chances, take more risks, and don't be afraid to put yourself out there, even if it flops. Yeah. Just to get more involved, and who knows, just with whatever you try or what you could have tried, and maybe that would have been a whole other layer of what would have been you or could be you. So even going back all the way to like elementary school, just like all the decisions and things like that you make going up to high school leads you to that next step. And then ultimately like exploring and figuring out what you want to do with life and career and everything else. And I feel like we're growing as a school. like give you more opportunities to like connect with businesses and like actually like do volunteer work with the community and things like that. There's a lot more opportunities now whenever I was in high school. So like all the dual credit classes, the AP classes, like that stuff wasn't like, we had AP classes, but dual credit was not a thing. Like it's crazy how much opportunity and money you guys can save, like go on to that next level and earn your degrees. Even like some of the options with C9 and KLR and Ivy Tech partnership with like actually going and becoming like a medical assistant and graduating with an associate's. It's crazy. So like, it'd have been awesome to be able to be in this time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Touching back on like making those decisions, I feel like kids are really afraid of like failure.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's a big thing.
Adults
like,
are too.
Yeah, like with those like, it's kind of like if someone hears dual credit or AP, they're like, oh, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if you feel the same, but I feel like that's kind of a big. I feel like it depends on the group.
Yeah.
Like mostly those kids that are scared to get involved,
Yeah.
I feel like they usually think it's those same kids that take the APs and they know maybe they don't have enough confidence in themselves.
Yeah.
So I think that's like a big thing, like of why kids aren't, taking advantage of how lucky we are to have these classes.
Yeah. And I'll kind of go off on a tangent a little bit, but I was very remedial. It's like in elementary school. So like I needed extra help. I needed like figuring out how to write my name. Like it was like that big of a struggle. But then as I got into middle school and then got into high school and things like that, like I started to figure it out, like things I'm passionate about, interested in. So like don't let the fear of failure be something that holds you back, because taking that first step, especially if you're passionate about something. So like I was a social studies guy, AP, US history, government, all that stuff. I just ate it up. But that was my first big risk, or my first big step was like taking some of those AP courses and being successful and going on. But that's what helped drive me to where I'm at now. So just you gotta put the fear kind of on the back burner a little bit. So.
And I think now it's especially a time to test the waters.
It's safe. It's a
Yeah,
safe
I mean, you still got guardrails. I mean, you're not fully alone. I mean, you have, and we have a great support system. Touching back on teachers, you have a great support system. We have great opportunities for extra help. I mean, Tuesdays and Thursdays after school, teachers stay after, and you can always get help, especially with those harder classes. I know that's necessary, and beyond that, teachers would be willing to do just about anything for those that need it or want that.
Yeah.
So it's really awesome.
Yeah.
So how are you wanting students to view this school year?
Organized chaos. No, it's like all the construction, everything that's going on. Like it is a busy, kind of crazy place. Like it's different. Like there's going to be shifts in what doors we can use, like where our buses are loading and things like that. Like all that stuff is shifting. But ultimately, like how I would want kids to view this year is I want, for seniors obviously, like that it be an awesome, a fun time where you are able to connect and just enjoy those last moments, the last times that you're going to be at Wyland Community High School. You're going to be a warrior, and then really try to dig in and make the connections with people and find the routes that you want to take. And so like with going all the way down to the underclassmen, with all the different routes and different layers, like with PCC and personal finance and things like that we're building in, is to push them to try to think beyond just the walls of Wyland Community High School and like what the next steps are. I just want them to see Wyland Community High School as a place where it's home, that the teachers care, the teachers want to help me, they want to support me. It's a place they're proud of. So.
Yeah.
So what is something that you are excited about for the school year or, beyond?
Yeah. I'd say I love graduation. I love going through and like just being at graduation. So like with you guys are seniors now. So like I was working with you guys when you were all freshmen and making me run all over the place.
Yeah.
But, so that's a special thing. I'm really looking forward to seeing that graduation. to see all the guys that all of you that I've worked with and seen grow and mature and going off to college, it's nuts. That's the crazy part about high school is like the freshmen come in and like they're going to be leaving, like they're going to leave, but it's just the fact that like holy cow, like how fast it goes.
It goes by really quick.
Yeah.
They always say. I mean,
it doesn't feel like it in the moment, but once
Yeah.
you're there, it's like, wow, how did I get here?
Yeah.
I would say the days and the weeks go slow,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
the years go fast.
They do.
And I just say now, speaking of fear, I love graduation. It's one of my favorite things to watch and be around. But reading the names, I don't want to ruin it for anybody.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh my god. But no, it's fun.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
It's gone by too quick, honestly. Like, I feel like I was so scared to start freshman year. And then I was like, okay, I kind of know what I'm doing. I'm sophomore now. And then I was a junior. I was like, okay, one of the big guys now. And now I feel like I'm kind of right back in that freshman spot. Like, now I'm scared to start college and go on. Like, it's kind of just like that cycle.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just getting nervous again. But it's also exciting.
Yeah.
It's also exciting to, like, just grow up with these people and, like, see where I'm going in life. That's kind of how I feel right now.
You'll love college.
Yeah.
You'll
Yeah.
love the next step.
What about you?
Well, I was excited to start high school. I was ready to get out of the middle school and take on a new challenge.
Yeah.
But I would say the first few weeks were hard. It was not what I was expecting. I didn't know really what to expect, but I think I was very fortunate also to, my freshman year was kind of one of those years where I was changing a lot of the things that I had always done, changing my mindset, changing, how I went about school and, outside of school, extracurriculars, and really kind of my whole life. So I was fortunate to have that period where I was still kind of young and still everyone else was experiencing all these changes going into high school. So I took that year and tried a whole bunch of new things, and I failed. I don't know, no one really knows this, but I tried out for the volleyball team my freshman year. Did not make the volleyball team. So that was tough,
But that
I guess.
led to something.
Yeah,
that changed your life.
Yeah, a week later I started playing tennis, which has been probably one of the most enjoyable experiences I've had here. And I would have never played tennis. Never. I thought it was like
Me
the
neither.
dumbest sport. I was
Well,
like,
Cooper
what
was a
is that?
football guy.
I was.
He was a football guy, so
a
a lot of people don't know.
Well, I thought it
but-
was the dumbest sport.
Right.
I was like,
Yeah.
it's no, yeah.
Football guy.
I thought it was so easy. No, it's the most challenging thing I've ever done. But it's so much fun, and I think that a lot of people don't realize the opportunity that you have here. I was fortunate. So I'll go and we'll skip over that. But but I'm feeling good about senior year. I'm ready for the next step. It's a little bittersweet. I was talking with my mom yesterday actually. We were on a plane coming back from North Carolina, and we were talking about senior year, and I was talking about some of the things that I do, extracurricular wise, and I was reading over a meeting that I missed, and so I was reading over some notes, and I just looked and I was like, I have to send this email, I have to get this approved, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna miss this. I am so lucky, and that goes with Spanish Honor Society, shameless plug, but it's awesome. We have Mr. Aguilar, probably one of the most kind and helpful individuals you ever meet. He's
awesome.
So motivated, and he pushes me to be better. And I mentioned, and I was telling her, I mentioned something to him, and he was, how can I help? It's always how can I help? It's always, putting others first, and that's something that I try to model. I'm not perfect. No one's perfect, but having that has been awesome, and I'm gonna miss it. So it's a great time, and I just wish that a lot of people find that out too late, and I wish that starting some people would figure that out. So
It's definitely
That's a good
something
point.
helpful.
yeah, definitely. but it'll be good. Yeah, I think next time, I don't know exactly what we're gonna do at this point next time, but we're gonna have another guest. I was thinking we're gonna do something about athlete mental health. So that's a big topic and something that
That'd be good.
From academics to sports is so hard for a lot of people.
Mhm.
Your days are full, and a lot of people also want to work in
Mhm.
high school.
It's
you
finding
want
the
money.
balance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big thing. So I think knowing someone that's like
yeah.
good with athletics and putting yourself first, I think that would be
Yeah,
a
I
good
think
topic
it's
to
huge.
touch
hopefully
on.
we'll have a guest that is an athlete and they
Mhm.
can give us their point of view, and maybe an educator that
Mhm.
has either been through it or, sees kind of
Yeah.
a side that we don't see. So I think that's what we're going to do
Something
next
to look
time.
forward to.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So tune in next time.
Well, thank you for coming on.
No problem, guys.
appreciate
It was
it.
fun.